Hi, it's Amy with Intuitive Coaching with Amy Radio, and this is your sacred space for spirituality, intuition, manifestation, and metaphysical wisdom. Let's talk about the future self. I am offering a service called the Future Self Sessions, where I guide you through a process so that you can receive psychic information from your future self around a particular situation in your life. So if you're going through something right now and you're like, man, I just want to know what the me who's on the other side of this would guide me to do. Oh, I can get you at a place where you can get such accurate information that it's the next right step. Your desires on the other side. And so that's the Future Self session. It's the July special, and you get 4 of them that you can use between now and the end of the year. And it's $270. Really great price on that. But let's talk about the future self. There's a lot of dialogue and conversation around future self, both in psychology and spiritually. And so we're not talking about the future self 10 years down the line. We're talking about the immediate future self, the you that already has whatever you're working on right now. And so whatever is causing you angst right now, something you're working towards, you want deeply, you're managing your emotions around this thing. Well, the you that's already experienced the result, who's manifested it, is already at peace. And so you can go and talk to that version of you and receive answers psychically. And then there's also a way in which this helps you psychologically. In psychology, it's called future self continuity. And researchers have discovered that when you feel connected to your future self, you naturally begin making better decisions today. You might take better care of yourself. You may make wiser financial choices, be more patient, willing to ease off of behaviors that aren't serving you well. And they say this is because when you're connecting to the future self through just the day-to-day, your future self is no longer a stranger and becomes someone that you care about, that you identify with. And I think that's what's so beautiful about the future self sessions that I do. When you connect psychically, you feel that love. You feel the you that is, sparkly and shiny version of you for that time, right? Compared to where you are right now. And it's really magical. And there's not a difference, right? It's not something out there. You can actually see psychically that tie that's connecting you to that version of yourself when you do this work spiritually. So there's the psychological side and then there's the spiritual side. And it's where you can get into that place of wish fulfilled or being the vision that you're seeking. So it's about becoming the version of you who already has what you're asking for, the version of you that's already done the thing. And the best way to do it is to ask the you who's already done it. And so that's where your future self meditations come into play. I've done quite a few in my day, and some are better than others. And then you can reach out psychically again to the future self. And that's what I guide you through in the future self sessions. I mean, pretty phenomenal the way I've been able to create that connection. You can get a very accurate piece of information if you're willing to receive it. You have to be willing to receive it. You have to be mature about it. And You have to be honest with yourself. So I would start with some guided meditations where you meet your future self. But again, those could be any timeline. I think pick your timeline before you go in is my recommendation. And you'll connect with someone who loves you, who believes in you, who knows you. When you are connected to your future self, you gain a greater sense of peace and power. You'll feel calmer. You might even feel more trusting of life. And remember, the future self already knows how the story turns out. And that can just give you some peace right there. Like you did make it through. And so, future self would strongly recommend that you start to incorporate that into your spiritual practice, especially if you're someone who has very clear intentions. I'll say that. Someone who, I've done a lot of these sessions with various people, and in my own life, I think where it's most effective is, yes, it can bring you a great sense of comfort, and that maybe it can quote unquote help you regulate your nervous system. But more so, I think if you are a person who's action oriented, you have healed your sense of self, you can really receive some very clear guidance that can create an immediate result in your life when acted upon. It's just, it's one of the coolest things that I've ever done. And you're not suddenly all knowing, but you do know more. And you can check yourself before you wreck yourself a lot easier. There's no like, oh, my future self has already given me some impressions around that. So I know exactly what to do in this situation, even if you don't know exactly where you're going or how it's all going to turn out and unfold. It can give you a great sense of peace. So I would encourage you to start connecting with your future self, make it a part of your spiritual practice. There's lots of guided meditations out there. You can do automatic writing. You can even send your future self letters, have your future self write you a letter back. You can do my future self sessions, which is just a beautiful sacred space where you can connect. And I hold psychic space for you as well. And then you can discuss what comes forward. It's pretty beautiful. You'll be amazed. You'll just be amazed. So future self, make it a part of your daily practice. The more you know your future self, the easier it will be to make right decision. And my only other recommendation is pray. Ask your future self for permission. If, hey, are you free to talk to me? They're 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. But it's a sign of respect for yourself. And no, they love you just as they love you. Your future self loves you. Again, this is all much easier if you have healed your sense of self. You do have a sense of self-love, self-respect. You've done some self-esteem work. It's much easier to connect with the future self in a really meaningful and authentic way. So yes, future self sessions, you can do them with me or just start connecting to your future self in a way that feels right and true to you and make it a part of your spiritual practice. And music helps. I've been connecting through singing bowls have been really great for me. But I'm not saying that's the only way end. You can connect through any type of music because music is always in the realm of limitlessness and it can open a door for you. And then I'll say it one more time, pray beforehand so you make sure that all the insight coming forward is for your highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of the planet. So I pray this was helpful. Look into my future self sessions. You get 4. It's $270. Each session's 90 minutes, and it's your space to tune in and connect to the you that already knows. And it's, again, I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever created and offered. So thank you so much for listening to this show. I look forward to connecting with you on the next. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.